Okay, I'm on.
G'day crew. In this episode I'm heading offshore to try my luck in some areas where I might get some pearlies, snapper, kingies or amberjack. I don't care which. I'm still looking for the crabs, so I dropped 2 pots on the way out. From there I headed towards the Rous channel on my way to the South Passage bar. As I was about to enter the small boat passage, I saw a flock of 50 to 100 birds working the area. Even though there were no bust-ups, I thought it was worth casting a lure into that mayhem anyway, just to see if there was something under the surface. Although there was a lot of bait there, it only took me 5 minutes to decide that there was either no large fish feeding, and hence no bust-ups, or they just weren't interested in my lure. So I gave up and continued on with my plan for the day. It was a beautiful day out with really minimal swell, which made crossing the bar a little bit more difficult than usual because there were hardly any whitecaps to show where the channel was. So I had to watch the colour of the water and the depth under the sounder more than normal. And once you get through the bar, the first stop is of course the bait grounds. I've spoken about them in previous videos, probably the last time about a year or a little bit more ago. So if you're interested in where they are, have a look through those videos where I'm fishing offshore.
Oh, losing them.
And once you locate the bait on the sounder, if you have a good show like the one I have here, you should be able to drop your sabiki and pull up 4 to 6 at a time. At that rate, it doesn't take very long to fill your bait tank. Try not to overfill your tank because the fish can suffocate from lack of oxygen if there are too many fish in there for the size of your tank and the amount of water that you can have flowing through it.
So I definitely got 4 on this time, and I managed a bit of a tangle, which I lost one again. Oh, come on. Oh, dropped one too. I had a full string then. Right, one in the engine wheel. I might get him after. Big jellyfish going past.
Now, getting distracted for even a few seconds when the fish are jumping on your sabiki rig can allow them to swim upwards and create a terrible tangle. I'm always conscious of time wasted when I'm out fishing, so if this happens, I generally allow about a minute to untangle it, and if I haven't made any significant progress in that time, I cut it off and tie on another one.
Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, okay. Happy to have him. Hold him over the boat until I get my thing ready. Rightio, well, we've lost one dead. The rest are still alive. Let's go find some fish.
Now I was planning an overnighter, so I wanted a fair bit of bait. So I filled it up to what I considered was a reasonable load for the live bait tank, and I headed for my first stop out on the wide ground mark. Then once I got there and found the fish and set up adrift, the first thing I did was to drop my heavy overhead down with a paternoster rig and a couple of liveys on it. I then grabbed a lighter rod to float down a bait for snapper. Now I did make a mistake here in picking a rod that already had hooks on it instead of picking the best rod for the fishing in this location. I paid for that expediency shortly afterwards. The current was running a lot stronger than I would normally have liked in this area. It was running at around 2 knots. What made it a little bit better and quite fishable was that there was hardly any wind at all, so the boat and the baits were all moving with the current. Still, it was a very fast drift.
First rod's going down. Putting a click sinker on this other one because it's already rigged. And given a run in the water, I don't think I got enough weight on it, so I'm going to put a click sinker on it. See if we can get it down to where the fish are. They're sitting down near the bottom. Try and keep that free of the engine. Now, let's see what we've got here. Gill deep. Okay, I'm on. Come on, get off the bottom. Oh, it's going to be a long fight, this one. He's got a lot of line to get back here. And he's still taking some. Get comfortable. I wish this was on my heavier rod. Oh dear. I did not think this through when I put this rod out. It was already rigged, so I just grabbed it. It's only got a 15-pound line on it. I'm getting some line back on him now anyway. A little bit. Yeah, I'm glad I got the net rigged, but I think I might want the gaff. Geez, whatever it is, I hope it suffers from barrow trauma. Once I get it so far up, it'll come in easy then. He's had enough of coming in. Oh, there goes all the line I just got back. Oh, damn, lost him. Oh dear. Well, that was sad.
Look at the bend in the end of the rod at the moment. I lost the fish, the hook and the sinker. There is only the braid and the mono wind-on leader, not even a swivel on this. The bend is caused by the weight and the drag of over 200 metres of line in the water. That's a relatively light rod, but that extra weight on the line is something to keep in mind when you're setting your drag on a reel. It's not just how hard the fish can pull, it's also the weight of the line that you've got out and it's dragged through the water.
Easy, took a lot of line. Still not back to my leader. Oh, here come my leader now. Oh, we broke. Must have got me into the bottom. Yeah, must have got me into the bottom and broke me off. Dang. Alright. Well, I'll pack this one away for now. And get a slightly heavier rod out for the next drift, I think. Something that can give him a bit of curry if he wants to fight. I think I'll put that one out.
I'm just highlighting a skilled fish here. They're down at the 100 metres. I haven't zoomed in on the bottom on this screen. So the fish are very small. I've also got the gain up, so there's a little bit of garbage on the screen, which tends to mask them out. But if you know what you're looking for, you can use it this way and it lets you see the whole water column. And since I'm also hoping to get some snapper, I do want to see what's in the whole water column. I use my other sounder screen to focus in on the bottom 15-20 metres. And this here is a drop-off or a little ridge underwater. I've explained in my Sonar series just how this image is formed and what it means. I just thought I'd show it here as a real-world example. If you haven't seen my Sonar series and want to learn a little bit more about how Sonar works, you might want to go and have a look at that. I'll put a link in the video description. Having lost that first fish, I rigged the rod that I should have rigged in the first place, made it on back to the start of the drift line and tried again. And once again I hooked up very quickly.
Oh, okay. Oh, since I was thinking of making this my last drift, and I think I've still got some bait there. Whoop, no, oh shit. Come on, come back and have another shot at it. I'll get you this time. Still got bait there. Come on, you know you want it. And you haven't got it all yet. Oh, I think he's deserted me. Shouldn't have had that drag on that second time, I think. The weight on the line frightened him off. But I've still got a little bit of a chance of getting something else if there's any bait left, so I'll leave it in for a little bit.
I pulled that line in and I was about to wind the paternoster in to motor back for another drift when it was hit.
Okay, well, we've got something on this time. And I got him on the good rod. Whew. Hope he doesn't pull the hook now. Well, that couldn't have been timed better just after I got the other line in. Oh, I've got too much line out here, though. Oh, this one's hard work. Oh. Oh, I must be getting close now, surely. Right, should see him soon. I got leader. I got 30 metres of it to bring in, but he can't be that far away. There he is, I can see colour. Holy heck! Oh God! Oh, that's as far as it goes. Think on. Oh shit! Bloody gap's out of reach. Oh, 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 nice fish. Real nice. Oh, that was a fight. That was certainly a fight. Certainly, no doubt he's going to be size. Oh, geez. Mr. Bait Circle Hook really did a good job here. Oh. 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 Right. Come on, roll over. I want to measure you. Oh. What are we there? We're up to the end. Now you would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 96.
This is another feature of the Furuno that I really like. I can drop a mark there where I caught the fish. I can tell it what sort of fish I caught, what its length was, and what its weight was. And I can use the TZ First Mate app on my phone to take a picture of it, which will then be placed with that mark on the Furuno. It's a great way of marking your spots where you're catching fish, so you can go back there, have a look, see what you caught there, and decide whether you want to go and fish there again. And of course, once I get home, I transfer all that information into fish tracks. So I've got it at home as well.
The amberjack had this in its gob. It speared it up after I caught it. 10 centimetres long, or not quite 10 centimetres, 9.5. No wonder it took my live bait, that was huge.
Now, apologies for this, the hat cam was working fine, but the dash cam didn't record anything. So all the footage I've got is from the hat cam. I posed with the fish and did the right thing, showing it off, but none of that footage came out, unfortunately. I've caught much bigger amberjack than this, but I was also younger at the time. Catching this one gave me more of a workout than I expected. No doubt because I don't feel as old as I actually am. I just want to show you some of the information I get to see on the Time Zero unit using the B54 multi-beam transducer and the DFF 3D black box to process the signal. I didn't see these fish until I was home reviewing the recordings for this video. As you can see, there was a substantial school of fish passed a little off the starboard and about 20 metres down. I really wish that I had enough dashboard space to fit a second monitor so I could watch my Furuno and the Time Zero displays at the same time, instead of sharing one display between them. And this recording is the Time Zero unit picking up some scattered individual fish near the bottom. This is very close to the spot that I hooked up that last amberjack, so I suspect that this might have been a spread out school of amberjack. If you want to pinpoint where the fish are around your bait, this is certainly the technology you want to have. A multi-beam transducer, either with a Furuno TZ3 or the new Furuno TZX, or a Time Zero unit. I have known there was a slow leak in my hydraulic steering for a while now, and I top up the fluid every 3 or 4 trips. It's never down by very much. While I was moving back to the start of my drift line, I noticed that the steering wasn't responding as crisply as it should, so I got my bottle of fluid out to top it up. Oops. The bottle was nearly empty and there wasn't enough to top it up completely. Now, since I'd only filled it up after coming back from the last trip, I realised that the leak was getting worse, possibly rapidly. So I decided to pull the pin on my plan and head back over the bar to fish inside where any catastrophic failure would be less dangerous. And with hindsight, I can tell you it's just as well I made the decision when I did. By the time I was approaching the bar, the steering was noticeably sloppy. I held wide of the bar and did a few manoeuvres before crossing, and after that I decided that I had enough control to risk crossing the bar given the current mild conditions on the bar. Had the bar been rough, I wouldn't have been going to try it. Coming back into the bar went very well, so I headed down the Rous to go around and check my pots.
Oh, we got some. I don't know if there's any keepers, but we got some. Oh, geez, gosh.
Can you tell that BMR radio party go ahead of it?
I managed to pick up my pots, but by now the steering was so bad that it was getting difficult, so I decided to end the trip immediately and keep the pots on board.
Any others that might be? This guy might be. Millimetre short. And everything else is short. So, oh, I've got a 3 spot in there. Come on. home. Oh, I've got some in here again. Whether there's any keepers or not is another. Oh, I think there's one keeper at least. Two keepers, maybe. Yeah, I'll probably pull it up though. This will be one. Oh, he's a big one. This will be another. This will be a maybe. You come close. Oh yes, just, yeah, I'm pretty sure you won't. Not in the race. All small now. I've practically got no steering. I was lucky to get it back to the ramp. I'm going to be working hard to get it onto the trailer. So, had to call it. Never mind. Got a good AJ. So, that'll have to do me for today.
Fortunately, the wind was on my side, so by taking my time and letting it do some of the steering for me, I managed it okay.
Okay, I'm having trouble fitting all that in the frame. I got the one amberjack. I was going to go up and try for some dolphin fish, mahi-mahi, up the pads and then over to the 29s, try for some snapper. It's just that, well, I didn't because the steering was pretty bad by the time I got back to the ramp. So, anyway, that's it, 3 crabs and the one AJ.
And I got back safely in a crippled bait, so I regard that as a pretty successful trip, albeit a very short one by my standards. Amberjack cooks up as a nice white flesh, but it does have a very mild flavour. Some say it's got a buttery flavour. It's got a very nice texture, but if you don't like a fishy taste, then this is a fish for you. Otherwise, you might need to enhance the flavour a little bit. Personally, I don't like a very strong or a very mild taste in fish. I like somewhere in the middle. So I decided to cook the amberjack with one of the recipes that adds some flavour of its own. The recipe I used this time is on the screen. If you catch an amberjack and you find its flavour too mild for your taste, then give this recipe a go or get on Google and find another one to your liking. Until next time, good fishing.